All right, so we have seen how to send an email with the help of a reference called uh, Microsoft Outlook 16.0 Object Library. It may be different from one system to another system, depends upon the version you install on your machine. So it doesn't matter, just go to the tools and reference. You need to just locate where we have Microsoft Outlook. Don't look at the version because it depends upon the version what you install. It may be 16, in your case, it may be 14 or 12. Just activate it. Activating is nothing but just click on it and say okay. That reference link is now available, established between the Excel and Outlook application. Now let me run this slowly and see what it is doing. Now in the very first instance, it's trying to create the instance for the Outlook application. Then once crossing this line, it is trying to check what I need to do. That is, I need to access the Outlook email. So it is trying to see the index from 0. Now it is coming to Outlook 2. It is trying to check. It's trying to check. Uh, it is trying to check to whom should I send. Okay, it is having a valid email ID, so it is sending to 2. It is now it is actually writing the email. It is not really sending it. First, it has opened an Outlook email. Just opened that new email. Under that 2, it has put 2 ID. And at the CC, it has put the CC ID. Then in the BCC, BCC ID. Then it came to subject. In the subject also, it is trying to write hello for you. After that, it's coming to the body part and writing how are you today. After that, let me show you just a display in the sense it is going to just display the information for you. For that, I need to open my Outlook application to show you what is display mean. Display basically mean you have created the email, but it is not at sent. Okay, it is just showing you a display only. That means once I say out and say display, now in the Outlook, you are going to see the email what you have created. That is in the two CC, BCC, hello, how are you today? But it is not sending. The reason is, let me close this Outlook now. I said no. The reason is I sent a display, just a display. Display is a method through which you can just display the email before you actually send. You want to read out what exactly the email is being drafted by your VBA. That is one way. Or you can save that email by using a save option, or you can directly send it. So let us try to send directly the email now. Now I also want to keep this email application open. I want to go to sent items probably, because in the sent items I'm going to see these are previous emails. Let me delete. Okay, nothing is there in the email sent. Now if I see the email is sent from my inbox, that means Ajinka might receive an email now. So it is going. This is Outlook issue. Now Outlook CC, it is creating BCC, it is creating subject, it is creating the body, it is sending the email. Now, once it is sending for the first time, it is trying to configure, but next time you'll not see this email. That's it. Once you send, you'll be seeing in the sent mailbox. Okay. Now it is out of my inbox. Now I can see it is already reached to Ajinka, who is sitting in Mumbai now. And I got a message that email has been sent. Ajinka, please just confirm if you have received the email. Now, how
Yes,
the
sir.
email,
Yes, sir. Yes.
you got it from the Gmail? All right. So how the email is being drafted, the way I do it normally, I'll go to the new email, I write to, I'll get CC, then I'll give the subject, then I'll come to body part, I'll give all the body information. Just imagine if you have a signature here, which is already there, so there's no need to create the signature. Signature is thanks and regards, your name, your designation, your company, and all information is already there. Here it is my personal Outlook, so I don't have all those things. But if you have a signature of in your company, if you have a signature at the bottom, it will be there by default. Now you want to beautify this email. How? To address you can keep as is, CC you can keep, subject you can change. Here I want to say something like hello or morning or whatever you want to mention, and you want to also mention the name of the person. Then you want to give a break. Let's see a different models of sending an email now. Slowly I'm trying to improvise my email by for the first time I was interested in connecting. Second step, I was interested in sending an email. Third step, I want to beautify the email. Let's see how you can beautify. Now, when I send this directly, okay, when I send this directly, when I send this directly, you can see how the mail is being sent. How are you today? But at the top, there is no message. At the bottom, there is no message. If you want to break this into two lines, or if you want to give a salutation morning, evening, something, hello, you want to say, how that can happen is you can just say here in the two CC, BC, is, everything is fine. Here, you want to say, okay, hello, Ejinka. Next, you want to say, that is sorry, this is what your subject, so I want to say subject, this is my subject simply, and how are you today. Before that I want to add, hello Ajinka, how are you today. So what does it mean? You want to give the solution in one line and you want to say how are you today. You want to write some body part information, which you want to break it down into different lines, but will it really sends in a different lines? Let's see. I'm just running it directly, and this dialog box is coming up. It is sending. In the real time, you will not see this. Say hello. Now you'll see one more email has been sent, but the problem here is it is not breaking into different lines. If you know the trick, how to make several lines into, single line into several lines, if you know the trick, you can beautify your email body. For example, hello Jinka, you want to give two breaks, then you want to start one more line here. After that, you want to break some more lines, you want to write the actual email. You want to give two more breaks, you want to say thanks and regards. So if you want to do that kind of a uh, email beautification, what you're going to do is simply you are going to use a function called, here we are going to use a function called, here what I'll do is I'll still use a comma there, double quotes. We are using ampersand so far, the concatenation part, but here we can use still the ampersand to concatenate this hello Ajinka plus how are you today. At the same time, in between, we need to use certain function called VB. The word itself is indicating VB new line. That means whenever you use this new line, function in between these two parameters, that is hello Jinka is one parameter, how are you today is one parameter. In between that, if you are trying to use VB new line, what does it mean is you want to get this second as a second line. How are you today you want to have in a second line. Now let me see how it works. Here VB new line ampersand how are you today, that's it. So let me run this. It's running now. All right, so now you can see it has break into two lines, but still you're not happy because you want to give more space. If you want to give a more space, again the same story, we need to use one more VB new line. So we need to use as many as VB new lines, uh, how much spaces you want. For example, here I used one more time, here I used one more time. That's it. I used three breaking points for my to make it into two different lines. So once I say new, you'll not be seeing in this real time. I'm getting somehow on my system. In previous batches, I haven't seen this. Hello. Now, once I see this, I got one more email. Now you see there are a lot of gap between this at the top. Okay, and this how are you today? And at the same time, if you want to give thanks and regards, how you are going to give the same thing again. You are going to use VBA new line where that is a trick here. After saying how are you today, you are going to use one more break. Okay, if you want one more break, use it. And then what you're going to say is thanks and regards or whatever, like your signature. Basically, if you're working in a live environment, you will always have your signature. But here I'm just trying to show additional line, how to insert an additional line. So likewise, you can keep adding as many lines as possible. But this is a basic example of how to send an email. But this is not the complete one because it's not dynamic at all. So let's see how to make it dynamic. You can see, hello Jinka, I given two spaces here, three spaces. So that's how your beautification you can improve in terms of your Outlook email. Maybe it showing some font says 8 or something, but whatever the settings you have made in your live environment, on the same settings, it will try to create an email for you. So that's a simple concept of creating an email. If you look at this closely, let me remove this. Save and display, you understood what does it mean. Okay, let me attach it. Let me try to attach some file also. Okay, uh, having seen like sending an email, now you want to attach some file also for this. So in the subject you want to write something important message. Instead of that, please find attached, or simply you want to say attachment. Here, hello Jinka, what I want to say is I don't want to simply use how are you or something. Here I want to make a note saying that please find attached. Okay, something I've given as a subject. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Outlook email dot attachments. Now it's clearly evident that like when you say attachment, we have to provide the path of the file which you want to attach. So let's go to any of the file on my Excel screen. Let me take it as any file you can attach. It's a Excel file or a notepad file or any SQL what is there on the desktop. You can attach any file for that matter. So let me see what is this file. 30th January, I'm copying as a path. Okay, once you go to this, here I want to say attach this one. What do you want to attach? Attachments. So whenever you say here Outlook email, which is an object, now it has a property called attachments. Like the way we have two CC BC subject, here we need to say dot add in the sense you really try to attach this to the Outlook email. So once you use the space, it is asking you, can you tell me what is the source? Okay, what is your source of your file which you want to attach? This is my source. That's it. I want to attach this file to this email. So let me try sending this file and see if this email is been sent along with the attachment. So by now I can see that email has been sent. I want to go to Outlook and see if the email is sent. Email is sent with the attachment this time. Hello, Jinka, please find attached, thanks and regards, and there is an attachment. So this is how you can attach any file or multiple files, doesn't matter. If you give the just folder path, it will try to extract all the files from your folder and going to attach based on your requirement. So this is a simple concept of sending an email. All right, now the data is ready with 4 employees here, with employees information who are doing some sales information in different regions. Okay, and this is the unit cost what they've sold, and these are the respective email IDs. Now, if I want to do this manually, what I will do is first I'll try to copy these two columns. I'll go to the next sheet. I'll paste it here. I'll try to remove duplicates. Again, we need to understand why I'm removing duplicates, because I want a unique email IDs and unique, you want a unique email IDs and unique representative names. So for that, what you'll do is simply we'll try to go for, you are going for this data, then where is, select these two columns, go to, okay, just click on this OK, then so that you can get the unique email IDs with the unique names. So by this, what I understood is every time I have to create a file called Ajinka, and I need to capture his email ID also. So that's how I'm creating 4 files. Please do remember, whenever we want to send an email to a person with attachment, we need to have that Excel file in some folder, right? So that we can copy that path and attach to an email and send to respective person. It is 4 today. Tomorrow it is 400, also the same procedure. There is no difference. The only thing is you need to find the dynamic one. So the same way what we have done this time, we are going to add 2 columns. So for that, what I'll do is I'll follow the same distribution data into workbooks. I'll come slowly here. Instead of copying C and D column, I need to copy C and D column. Earlier it was only C column. Now I'm copying 2 columns. Why? Because I want to find the unique name of the person, and unique email ID. So that's it. I copied this C and D. After that, I'm removing not A and A. I want to A and A. I want to remove the duplicates in the two columns. After removing the two duplicate names, I need to go and copy and paste in the information and send it out. So let's try to see if it is able to send, if it is able to create a file and save it in a folder. That is what we wanted. So before that, let me slowly run this to see if it is working. Then we can think of sending an email. So first it is going, this is the path where I want to save the files. It is going to the data sheet, copying this C and D column. Okay, let me make it bigger. Now, after that, it is trying to add a new sheet because we want a empty sheet where I can paste the data and remove the duplicates as such. So once I deleted, I want to find out how many people are there. I can find out with my L row, nothing but last row, I have 5 people. Tomorrow, if I have 5,000 also, this L row is going to tell me like you have a 5,000 people. So once you get the rep name, I got the first guy, and after that I'm going to auto filter. I'm auto filtering it and copying this entire data. Okay, I'm copying the entire data. I'm creating a new workbook altogether. After that, I'm pasting the date information, pasting it. After that, I'm saving it. I'm closing it. So that means, let's see if this is working. The only thing I need to do difference is just attaching this Excel file, which is just created for Ajinka. Let me go to desktop. In the today's file, I should be finding one file here. So I have file. The only thing is now I need to, the way I created one file, immediately I'll attach it. The way I create one file, I'll attach respectively. So let's try to start developing Outlook code now. Now, till here, we are able to create the file and save the file in the path, and you're also closing. After closing, what you want to do, you want to send an email. From here, let me put this as a comments. This I'm writing as a separate comment so that you can see Outlook. Send an email to respective employee. So that means till here, whatever you're doing till here, after closing the email, closing the workbook, you want to send an email. So if I want to send the email, what are the things I require? I need to go to my first Outlook, just copy these 2 lines or 4 lines rather. Okay, go to my Outlook example 2. At the top, I'm going to put these variables which are really required. All right. Okay, bracket is missing here. That's it. So after that, what else I require? I require this entire stuff. I'll copy this. I'll go here. Wherever I've written this comment section, here I want to drop in this. So here, let us remove everything. I want to just concentrate on the to address now. The first thing is you want to send to whom? It's not Ajinka always. I don't know who is the first person. Okay, if you look at your Excel, by looking at this file, I know it is Ajinka. Second one is Amit. Third one is Bhaskar. Fourth one is Devi. But it may keep changing based on the data I get. So in the to address, as you already know, rep name is your name of the person, employee. So in the same way, we need email, right? So if you want email, what you need to do is you need to declare one more variable saying that dim email underscore add as string. Okay, so that means the way you are capturing the name of the person, this time you want to capture the name of the email of the person. So that means wherever you are capturing that is a rep name, the same way you need to get the email ID. So let me copy this same thing equals to this. So what I'm going to do is I'll see sheets of this. Now this time it's A because your email IDs are stored in a column called B. So that means I'm going to say B this time, not A. So the first line is trying to get the name of the person. Second line is trying to get the email ID of the person. All right. So after getting the email ID, what we're going to do is Outlook mail.to, I'm going to put the email ID. Okay, because I'm not sure which email ID. If I put my name or Ajinka name or Devi name, that means I'm doing a wrong thing. That is, it's a static name, right? Now I'm trying to make it dynamic. That is email ID. So this, what is playing very important role here is creating a variable, storing information there. Now, the next one is Outlook uh, mail dot uh, CC. If you want to put CC, okay, let me put the same thing, email ID, doesn't matter. Now let me make Outlook mail dot subject. I want to write subject. What you want to write here? You want to write say simply hello or attachment, something like subject, a static subject. And after that, you want to say it Outlook underscore mail dot. Here I want to attach the file. Here comes a real amendment, how you are going to attach a file. The file which is just born in your folder, you want to attach it. So when you are attaching a path, I don't know where exactly the file is getting stored, right? We don't know exactly where is the file is saved. So if you remember correctly, the file is getting saved here, right? So why not copy this entire stuff? Why not copy this entire stuff? Come down, come down and use the same attaches dot add and space this. That's it. That means, let me repeat this. First, Outlook dot email to whom you want to send the email which have in my Excel. Okay, to whom you want to CC, I'm giving the same stuff because I don't have other alternative email. Outlook subject, I want to give a default attachment or something like that. Then Outlook email dot attachments dot add. I want to add my path where the file name is there and where exactly the format is all provided already, which is good. So now everything is done. Now finally what you want to do is Outlook dot underscore mail, the same thing we are trying to do dynamic. That's it, nothing else I'm doing here. Send. Finally you are trying to send it. So once you send it, so what is happening is still here, it is creating a new workbook, creating the data and saving the file. After that, you are trying to create an email and send it immediately. After that, it is going to the next person. Once the job is done, it will again go to the next person. Again, it will go to the next person. That's how we'll keep going on till we have the customer names and along with that, a proper email ID. So let's see how it really works. Now, to whom I'm sending the email, everybody should be receiving those. uh, for that, let me go to my folder and see if everything is clean there. Today's file, nothing is there. Good. Now I'll go to Outlook. This is not required. Let me put this way so that I can see the files and as well as Outlook there. So I'm running it very slowly for the first two people at least to see how it is working. Okay, my path is capturing correctly. I'm going to the data sheet. I'm copying C and D column. The reason is I want the name and as well as email. I'm creating a new sheet. Okay, rep is already there. So let me delete that first. Okay, after creating a new sheet, I want to give a new name to it. That is rep, which is a static name again, not a problem. Okay, I lost. One second. Between that, if you do any operation, it will the data will be removed from the memory. So let me come back again. So it's coming down, going to the data sheet, copy the data, going to the new sheet, giving the name to it, pasting the data. After that, you want to remove duplicates from both the columns. That's why I've given A and B. Earlier it was A and A. Okay, because we want the email or email ID also along with the name. So you are finding what is the last row. That means today we have 5, tomorrow 500. Doesn't matter for us. Now I'm finding who is the first guy and what is his email ID. This is how I'm capturing through the variable here. Okay, that's how I'm capturing the name and the email ID. After that, I'm going to the data sheet because I want to capture data of respective employee. After that, I'm copying the information. Once I copy the information, I want to add a new workbook. I'm adding a new workbook here. After that, I want to rename the sheet because I want to give a proper name to it. I want to paste the data. Data is pasted exactly for him and the workbook is saved. Let me see if the workbook is saved. After that, I'll close the workbook because I don't want the workbook to be opened. Once the workbook is closed, immediately you want to send to somebody. Why this? You want to send this to Outlook email ID. Then after that, you want to put the CC, you want to put subject, you want to put attachment. So what is happening at the attachment? It's a my path rep name. All right. So we are starting from again how to distribute the workbook into a folder. From there, we want to pick it up and you want to send through the email to the respective email IDs. So we are coming down to activate the Outlook. After that, we are trying to check what is the start time. You want to check what is the path and you want to copy C and D column. From there, you want to go for rep sheet and you want to paste the data. From there, you want to remove the duplicates. You want to find the last row. You want to find who is the person on the very first row and what is his email ID. After that, you are going to back to the data sheet because you want to filter the data as usual. After that, you are copying the information. After copying the information, you want to create a new workbook. You have created a new workbook now. After creating a new workbook, you want to paste the data. After pasting it, you want to save it. Once the file is saved, no doubt you need to close it so that you can give a space for the next file which is coming up. So after that, you are activating Outlook is being initiated at the initial stage. So what happens here, it is trying to look for the email address which is supposed to attach to the new email. And this is a CC address, this is a subject, this is attachment, it is attached and sent. Once it is sent, what happens is it now this time it is attaching only the respective file which is supposed to be attached to a person. So I'm saying hello here for this one time. So when I go to send, you can see his email ID is Ajinka and only Ajinka file is been attached. So let's run quickly and see if this all files are running appropriately. So at the top, we have all the applications ready. We have at the bottom also applications ready. I want to quickly run, just say run. Before that, there's no rep sheet on your Excel sheet because this is will create an error. After that, ensure that you have no files under the folder also for the to get it to see all the 4 files are created. I'm just running it straight away. You can see the first file is going to be created under the today's files. After that, it is sending an email. This dialog box will not see in the real time. You'll not get an opportunity to click like this every time. If you're sending 100 mails 100 times, you're not going to click Ajinka has been sent, Ajinka information only. And next time it is going to look for Amit and Amit file. Once the Amit file is found, it is going to attach. The job is completed in 14 seconds. That means 4 emails has been sent in 14 seconds, 4 seconds. Let's see. Now going back to the folder, I have only one file here. All right, let's start again. Currently, we have a data sheet under which we have 4 employees with all the data. The very first basic thing we need to understand how to filter these guys into 4 individual rows. That's nothing but just copying a C and D column, putting into a new sheet and removing the duplicate. That's how you're going to get the unique names and as well as the unique email IDs. Then what you are trying to see is who is the first person and what is his email ID. Then create a new workbook, filter the data, paste the data, save the workbook in a respective folder. From there, you try to pick up the file and attach and straight away click on the send button through the VBA. So let's try to run it and see directly sending an email. Send email distributed workbooks. Say run. Once you say run, you should be seeing one file is created and you should be getting this message, which will usually will not receive in the live environment as I mentioned. That's it. It has taken 43 seconds in order to send all these 4 emails to respective person only, not to anyone else. So how we are trying to control them is we know what is the first name and what is his email ID. We know what is the second employee, and is we know what is his email ID, and what is the third person and what is his email ID. That's how we are trying to loop through each name and trying to understand what is his email through another variable, and all this variable combinedly we are trying to put in the form of the variable here. That's how we are keeping that variable capturing. So this is the entire block section of sending an Outlook email. The entire this section is trying to create a new workbook in order to create the respective information and pasting into the workbook. So beautiful example, but it works well if you have so many emails to be sent on a day. But for sending one email, don't try to create such a big, huge code and involving into the, I mean, deploying into your as a project. Never try to do that. So that's Outlook concept, and we can do much more if you start using if conditions. For example, let's try to take a simple example here. If you have name of a person, I am sure like you guys can do this. Name I said course maybe. Here I said fees. I want to say status here. Okay. Here what I want to do is I want to take a name called Amit, and he is interested in SQL. Fees is 1,000. Status is not paid. So what does it mean? This guy is interested in a course called SQL, and he's supposed to pay 1,000 rupees, but the status is showing as no. That means if I need to send an email out of some 100 people, let me put other names also. Devi, she's interested in Excel, and she's supposed to pay 2,000, and she's already paid. Let's take Ajinka, and is interested in Click, and is supposed to pay 500, and the status is no. And the next one is we have Bhaskar, and is interested in Python, and is supposed to pay 1,000, and he's paid yes. Now looking at this particular status, if I want to send a reminder through the help of an email, let's assume I want to send an email through the reminder in terms of a reminder. That means I need to loop through this D column. I want to check the condition in the sense, I want to check if it is N or S. That is, N stands for no, Y stands for yes. That means if already Devi is paid, if already Bhaskar is paid, why do you want to send an email to them, right? You don't want to send. So there are the only two emails we are supposed to send, that is to Amit and Ajinka, who has not yet paid the fees. So obviously when I run the macro, it has to cross check who are the people not paid, and it has to send an email saying that please pay your fees and so date for this so and so course you opted for, and this is a fees. So that's how you can send another email. And you can also pick up one more project. If you have a very big team, you can create a happy birthday kind of section. That is just once you open the Excel, automatically it should identify today's date and see if anybody has celebrating his birthday. It should automatically send an happy birthday wishes to that guy. So simple funny project which you can do, which you can build a lot of logic in that. So this is the best example where we can use if condition and for loops and outlook and variables, of course, without going. So that means first I will come to this location and check who is the name. It's Amit. What is the course? SQL. It's a time waste, right? Like why you're checking the whole line. First come to the directly the status column and check whether it is N or Y. N means no. That means I need to send an email. Dear Amit, you opted for a course called SQL, and the fees is to be paid 1,000, and we have not paid, and so date you need to pay. So try to draft a nice message, and automatically the email should go. And tomorrow assume that Amit has paid, so I made it as yes. So when I'm running the macro, now this time it will check for YY, that means not to be sent, he already paid. Only Ajinka has not paid, so he has to send only email to Ajinka. Out of thousands of people, only Ajinka is targeted here because his status is still showing as N. So this is also, you can try to create a mini project to make yourself comfortable in Outlook kind of environment. I mean, whenever you're trying to create any project. So there are several projects which you can create with Outlook. But before that, the first and foremost thing which you can do is how to send an email. That is a basic thing first. That is how to activate your Outlook 16.0 or 14.0, 15.0. Activate it. Then you try to create the instance. Once the instance is created, send a static email first. Try to be comfortable in sending an email. Okay. Once you're comfortable, then slowly try to attach the body part information. After adding the body part information also, you can do wonders actually. First, trying to say good morning, good afternoon. After that, how to give several lines. That is the tricky part here. That is using VB new line. So by giving a new line, you are trying to break that line into several lines. After that, you are attaching. So try to test one by one, come to the stage where you are really attaching a file. Okay. This is a static. Everything what I've done is static, which is not a right example, but yes, it's a good example at the same time, because I'm just learning Outlook, how to connect. So this is the best example of just to check yourself whether I'm able to send an Outlook email or not. So immediately move on to such a project where you are dynamically sending. See here, if you look at, I'm not mentioning to whom I'm sending, because this email ID depends upon what is there in my Excel. So it's completely dynamic now. It is attaching the information from here. Subject, it is taking static. Here, instead of static, you can also mention something like, I want to send to whom? I want to send all these 4 people. So all these names where you're storing, that is rep name, right? So that is the subject which I want to put. Okay. So when you're sending email now, it will be sending subject of their respective name rather than a static information called attachment. Here we are attaching what you are attaching. We know very well, like we are attaching the same file which is getting saved through the help of your VBA. At the same time, last we are trying to check what is the time taken, which you've been seeing from the previous example, like when it is started and when it is ended. So beautiful example. We have written everything from the scratch to see how we can send complete attachments.